I'm really so grateful to Bhagavan for giving this golden opportunity.
And when you first decided to go see him in Prashanti Nilayam, was it your mother's idea? Whose idea was this?
Actually, Swami came into my mother's dream and told her, I am waiting for you all, why are you not coming? But she said, I have never seen you, I don't know anything about you. Then she, I am Sathya Sai Baba staying in Puttaparthi. So you have to come to Puttaparthi and have my darshan. It was in 1945.
1945.
This was 1945. That was the year I was born. Was Puttaparthi a very big village back then, or a small village?
Very small, such a small place, only 10 houses maybe.
Just 10 houses?
Yeah, 10 houses.
Were there stores? Were there places, restaurants or cafes?
No, nothing. It was all built with huts, I can say, just like huts.
Just huts?
And he went and sat in the chair. We thought maybe Sai Baba is going to come. He cannot be Sai Baba, such a young boy, he cannot be Sai Baba. And then immediately he said, Bayama, one lady, elderly lady inside, he called her, they have come all the way from Kuppam. See, they are so tired. You serve them food immediately.
This young boy told her to do that.
Then from inside he said, all right, Baba. My God, we never thought he's Baba.
They called him Baba?
Yeah, she called him
this
Baba.
This young boy who greeted you and knew about your very difficult trip for 2 days was Sai Baba. And how old was he at that time? He was just a teenager maybe? Or how old might he have been in 1945?
He was 19 years old.
He was 19 years
at
old.
That time.
So that's where you stayed, and there was just that one mandir. There's no other buildings. Did he live in that mandir?
Yes.
And were you staying in that mandir?
Yes, all of us staying in that small mandir.
A mandir big enough to hold 30 people, you said. Did it have electric fans?
No lights.
No lights.
No lights.
No electricity.
Current, no lights.
And what about Swami's mother and father? Did they live close by?
As long as Swami was in old mandir, then none of them used to come. None of them used to visit them.
Why not? Why not?
Nobody used to come to mandir.
Really?
What Swami himself used to go to the village once in 2 days or 3 days, visit them, talk to them and come back. Nobody used to come.
So you kept a good journal on everything?
Yeah. Day to day diary I have kept. But after coming to Swami, after seeing Swami, I said, why should not I make notes here also, because he's looking so smart and so sweet. So day to day, I used to write it down, what has happened, in small bits of papers. After 4 years, and one day, having so many bits of papers, I thought, why not I make it into a book form? Then I asked Swami, can I make it into a book form? Why not? You can do it. Then immediately he took a book from me and he wrote a small, beautiful poem on that and tell me, now you can start writing.
Really? And that's where this book came from. And the title, for people who haven't seen it yet, is Other Than You, Refuge There Is None.
Chuda pichi vada vagudu nijadaleruga mooda matulu kanananduru kidu moodu nappudella vedu konduraya ninnu kaapadu.
Vijaya Kumari, singing the very first song Holy Man Sri Sathya Sai Baba taught her to sing 68 years ago, a song written by Sai Baba himself. This interview constitutes pure history, the history of Sai Baba as a teenager and beyond, documented by a young woman who wrote notes and then a book of her impressions and interest in the young Sai Baba. What an extraordinary first-person accounting from nearly 70 years ago. Welcome to Souljourns. This interview, part 1, was recorded near Sai Baba's Vrindavan Ashram in Whitefield, a suburb of Bangalore, India. Much has changed here since Baba's leaving his physical form and since new highway and apartment construction right across the street from Sai Baba's ashram. This Souljourns interview, part 1, was recorded in Whitefield in January of 2013.
Vijayamma, it is such a pleasure to be with you. Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram to you also.
You are 82 years old. You're a young woman yet, and yet you have a wonderful history and association with Sathya Sai Baba. Tell me about how you first met him and how old you were.
I offer my heartfelt pranams to our most beloved Bhagavan. And I'm really proud Swami has given me this golden opportunity to talk about him, to talk about his stories and make everybody happy. And
I'm happy too.
yeah.
And when you first decided to go see him in Prashanti Nilayam, was it your mother's idea? Whose idea was this?
Because of Swami's dream. Swami dream lo vachi amman
Oh.
amman.
Actually, Swami came into my mother's dream and told her, I am waiting for you all, why are you not coming? But she said, I have never seen you, I don't know anything about you. Then she, I am Sathya Sai Baba staying in Puttaparthi, so you have to come to Puttaparthi and have my darshan.
Wouldn't you know it? Sai Baba must be calling me.
It was in
1945.
1945.
This was 1945. That was the year I was born. So did you go with your mother to Puttaparthi in that year?
We all went.
Whole family.
Whole family. We were 9 members. Whole family started and went to Puttaparthi.
I apologize for my telephone. So if all of you went to see Sai Baba in 1945 with so many people, how did you get there? What was your mode of transportation?
Because we were told that even salt was not available in Puttaparthi.
Even salt?
So, even salt was not available. So our luggage was very big because we are already 9 people. With the greatest difficulty, we have started from our native place, Kuppam. We have reached Bangalore and we had took the train and we reached Penugonda at about 1 o'clock in the night.
1 o'clock in the night?
Then at that time there were no lights, no platform, nothing was there. And we just jumped out of the train.
Nobody was there? You must have been frightened.
Yeah, naturally, we were so frightened and the children were so scared. Anyhow, we got down and waiting for something to happen. Then the station master came with a small light, with a chimney light, and he said, here nothing is available. You have to sit in a corner only.
A cart?
In a corner outside, under the sky. There's no rooms, nothing is available here. So we have to sit there only. Morning 5 o'clock. The horse cart will come.
So you stayed there all night, from 1 o'clock in the morning to all night?
All of us cuddled in a corner.
So then the cart came, a ox cart came to pick you up?
Yeah, in the morning at 5 o'clock, next day morning at 5 o'clock.
And then how long did it take you to get to the ashram?
It took me one full day because from Penugonda we have to go to Bukkapattanam.
A full day in the ox cart?
From Bukkapattanam to Puttaparthi again by bullock cart. And though the bullock cart was there, it was in a horrible condition. We cannot sit in the cart at all. So I put the luggage and walked all the distance.
I see. You couldn't even ride on it.
No.
How was the road back then? Do you remember what the conditions were?
Worst I can see. It was full of ups and downs. As we put the luggage in the cart, as soon as the down comes, we have to catch hold of the luggage. Like that, with greatest difficulty and with the greatest strain, we reached up to Bukkapatnam, and then we went up to Chitravati river.
And then you followed the river to...
No.
Oh, you had to go through the river.
Yeah.
You had to go across the river.
Yes. And actually, as soon as we reached Chitravati river, and the cartman said it is in full swing, you cannot cross it all.
It was filled with water, because today there's very little water there, but back in 1945...
It was always full.
No bridges?
No.
So how did you go across?
We crossed because it's catching hold of the cart We just crossed, thinking of like that, we crossed.
Nobody drowned, everybody made it safely.
Yeah, we reached safely.
All 9 of you.
Yeah, yeah.
So then you crossed the river. Did you cross the river at Puttaparthi or was it someplace else?
And it is called, that village is called? No.
It's another small village.
Just one. Prita. There Karnatakapalli.
Oh, okay.
Karnatakapalli village.
A
we
real
reached.
tiny village,
Yeah,
right?
Karnatakapalli.
Okay.
From there we have to go to the old mandir.
So
Yeah,
you
we have
finally
to
got
walk.
into, was Puttaparthi a very big village back then or a small village?
Very small, such a small place, only 10 houses maybe.
Just 10 houses.
10 houses.
Were there stores? Were there places, restaurants or cafes?
No, nothing. It was all built with huts, I can say, just like huts.
Just huts.
Huts.
So it was the tiniest of the tiniest
the
villages.
most remote village.
And so,
Tiny.
and Sai Baba's house was one of those 10 huts.
No,
probably.
he's away from the
He was
main
away from-
place. He's
okay.
away from the old mandir. Is little away from the
Okay.
main village.
So what did you do? Did you go right for the old mandir?
Yes.
And the old mandir, I understand, I
As-
saw pictures, was very tiny then.
Yeah.
With a
As
tin
soon
roof.
as we crossed the river, few people, men were coming towards us, greeting us. And we don't know anybody at that time. We said, oh, who are these people greeting us? And in that group, one, I can say, young fellow, I can say, he's very smart and looking very charming and all that.
One fellow,
As we walked with them, and that gentleman is telling what all we undergone for these 2 days without not even water available there.
So he knew
He
how
knew
difficult the trip was.
Yeah. And we were wondering how this man knows about all these things, but we didn't judge who he was. But anyhow, we reached the old mandir at that time, and he went and sat in the chair. We thought maybe Sai Baba is going to come. He cannot be Sai Baba, such a young boy, he cannot be Sai Baba. We are waiting for Sai Baba to come. We were all standing near the wall. And then immediately he said, Bayama, one lady, elderly lady inside, he called her. They have come all the way from Kuppam. See, they are so tired. Serve them food immediately.
This young boy told
Yeah,
her to do that.
Then from inside he said, all right, Baba. My God, we never thought he's Baba.
They called him
Yeah.
Baba.
Yeah,
because
she called him
this
Baba.
young boy
Yeah,
who greeted
yeah,
you and knew about your very difficult trip for 2
Yeah,
days
yeah.
was Sai Baba.
Yeah, yeah.
And how old was he at that time? He was just a teenager maybe, or 20? How old might he have been in
He
1945?
was 19 years
He was 19
old
years
at
old.
that time.
And your whole family was greeted, your whole family was greeted by Sai Baba,
Yes,
and you
yes.
didn't know it.
No, we didn't know that he is Sai Baba.
So he wanted to show you hospitality once you got to the mandir.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. He went to-
At least.
So he called, in the Bayama said, all right, Baba. Then we said, my God, we didn't pay our homage because we didn't know that he's Sai Baba. And immediately he said, we are very sorry, we didn't pay our homage. He said, all right, don't worry at all. Then we were served food, and his Baba asked us to take rest for a little while. And then in the evening, he woke us up actually because we were so tired and sleeping. He came into the room and said, how long are you going to sleep? Come on.
Do you remember what time it was in the morning?
Evening for
Oh, this is in the evening.
Evening for
So you were resting. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
you know,
misunderstood that. So what did he want you to do once he woke you up? Did he want you to come and talk with him, or what did you do?
Prayer meeting.
We went to the prayer hall in the
Okay.
mandir. So we sat for bhajan. So
Did you join in singing bhajans?
Sure. In those days, it was called Old Mandir.
Okay,
Nearly 30 people can sit.
only 30
Yeah,
people could sit.
There was a platform where all images of all gods are kept, and Shirdi Sai Baba, Rama, Krishna, Shiva, all idols are kept there. And Swami sat in front of it, and next to him one side ladies and one side gents.
How much did you know about Sai Baba back then? How much did you know of him?
We don't know anything about him.
Did you know that he followed Shirdi Sai Baba?
We heard that he's an incarnation of Shirdi, but we don't know anything.
And were you devotees of Shirdi Sai Baba? Did you know anything about Shirdi Sai Baba?
No, at that time we don't know anything.
So Shirdi Sai's form was all new to you too?
Yeah. We
Okay.
only heard, but we had never had any experience.
So
like
you
that.
came strictly on faith and your mother's dream when Sai Baba called her to come to visit. And were you wondering who this person was and why he wanted you to come so far to see him? Did you have any questions about him?
We never thought of anything like that. Just we came out of His grace, I can say. We came, and as soon as we came there and look at him, and he was looking so charming, and he was looking so sweet. His eyes were full of love, and we can see the smile. It was so attractive.
You know, this is such an important part of your story. Your story could probably go on for hours and hours and hours. But this is a rare opportunity to hear about Sai Baba when he was 19 in 1945, the year I was born. I just want to hear more. If you have any more memories about those first couple of days with Sai Baba, please share them. Please share them. Did you remember?
ఓకే ఒక్క చూపులోనే మొత్తం సరెండర్ అయిపోయారు. అది ఇంపార్టెంట్ చెప్పండి.
As soon as we saw him, we felt that he is God. We felt, all of us, not only me.
This young boy.
Young boy. As we saw looking at him, and we were so attracted by him, and immediately at once we felt that he is God.
That's amazing.
Yeah, amazing, really amazing.
Nothing but his grace.
That it is only his sankalpa, I can say, nothing.
So, did he take care of you? Did he feed you good food?
Yeah.
I'm always interested in that. Was it hot food?
Yeah.
Did you get sick?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Never
And-
sick, never tired.
Never tired.
But you must have been very tired when you went to bed that night. Finally, after prayers and after bhajans and after you had some food.
అది
We-
చెప్పు స్వామిని చూస్తానే ఎంత కష్టపడుతున్నా అంత మర్చిపోతాను.
But as soon as we saw him, we forgot everything. There was no pain, no tiresome. We were fresh as a flower, and we were very happy to see him.
And your mother was also
Everyone,
very happy.
everyone of all of us.
Now, you've taken very good notes, and I have a copy of the book that you wrote here. Before I leave, I'm going to make sure you sign it for me because it's a wonderful book. Tell me how you wrote this. You must have been very smart, very intelligent to take notes along your journey with Sai Baba. What made you think about writing down everything?
That
since
it is divine plan. He has pre-arranged everything. But from my childhood days, where if I go out, when I see the nature, it was my habit to write it down.
So you kept a good journal
Yes.
on everything.
Yeah. Day-to-day diary I have kept. But after coming to Swami, after seeing Swami, I said, why should not I make notes here also, because he's looking so smart and so sweet. So day to day, I used to write it down, what has happened, in small bits of papers. We never thought I need a book and all that. We don't know.
Did you keep those small bits of paper and then later wrote the book from this, right?
How did it take?
After 4 years, and one day, having so many bits of papers, I thought, why not I make it into a book form?
Fair.
Then I asked Swami, can I make it into a book form? Why not? You can do it. Then immediately he took a book from me and he wrote a small, beautiful poem on that and tell me, now you can start writing.
Really?
That.
And that's where this book came from. And the title for people who haven't seen it yet is Other Than You, Refuge There Is None.
Yeah.
And how did you come up with the title for this? Tell me about the title.
After printing the book, we have waited for
After 50 years.
after 50 years.
After 50
50 years. So Swami made me write this book. Actually, I don't have that much language. I don't have that much knowledge at all. But when Swami said write the book, and when I started writing, I can tell you the pen is flowing.
So he wrote the book through you.
Yeah.
You are a very intelligent woman. You're an amazing interview person for me. I'm so grateful that Swami
Thank
has
you
led
so
me
much.
to your address
Thank
here in
you.
Bangalore. It's no wonder to me that you can recall so vividly the story of Sai Baba. And anybody seeing this is going to say, Ted, go back to the story. Go back 45 to 1945. Don't go so fast ahead. So tell me about how long did you stay that first time you went in 1945?
We went only to stay for 3 days only
My
because
father's condition.
Yeah.
We'll stay only
Your
for
father
3
was sick.
yeah.
Okay.
So he said, come on, let's go and stay only for 3 days.
Yes.
So after 3 days, Swami called my father, Radhakrishnaya, now 3 days over, when are you going back? Then immediately my father folded his hands and said, Swami, it is up to you. Whenever you say, I will, then only we will go. We stayed for 3 months.
My goodness, in 1945.
Yeah.
I can't really believe this. This is
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Nee book is correction.
3 days became 3 months. Now, was your father's health okay?
Okay.
Okay, and your mother's health okay?
Everybody was
And your siblings, your sisters, everybody was okay?
okay.
Where did you find food to eat? Did you find stores to sell you food? Did you find stores to sell you kerosene and things that you needed for your lanterns? How did you make do for 3 months?
It's because my father had a friend in Bangalore, so he used to write a letter for him to send so many things. So somebody used to bring all the food stuff for us.
Oh, good. There's no Indian canteen at Sai Baba's. No dobies would come and pick up your clothes and wash them in the morning.
Even a cup of coffee is not available outside. There is no shop, nothing.
And no long lines at darshan, huh? And everybody got interviews every day when Baba came out.
Every day. We never thought of an interview at all
Yeah.
because all the time, 24 hours in a day, we are so close to him all the time, playing, running after him. So we never thought what is an interview.
And as my friend
24
Gyani,
hours interview.
Yeah.
24-hour interview, and as my friend Gyani Bailey, who's sitting next to me, along with Vijay, as they just pointed out to me,
From morning till night.
as they just pointed out to me, no bathrooms there either, right?
Yeah.
What to do?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Go to Chicago.
So, was it uncomfortable? Was the heat too bothersome? Were there mosquitoes and snakes and tarantulas? What did you do about protecting yourself?
They never thought of it. He's always there to protect us, to take care of us. So we never thought, we never felt hungry, we never felt tired because we are all the time with God.
So, what a beautiful story. Tell me, for those people who have not been to Puttaparthi, how far away the old mandir was from where the new mandir is today. The new mandir was built 5 years later, I know, in 1950.
Yeah.
How far away was the old mandir?
Maybe 2 to 3 kilometers.
పెద్ద వెంకమ్మ కళ్యాణ మండపం
That's old man.
1 kilometer.
1 kilometer.
1 kilometer. Oh,
1 ki-
sorry.
And it's still there?
It's still there is no
Why have I never
కళ్యాణ
seen
మండపం
It's a Kalyana Mandapa.
పెద్ద వెంకమ్మ రాజు కళ్యాణ
Converted.
Okay, converted into what?
Marriage.
Marriage hall.
Oh, it's a marriage hall now.
Function.
That's why I've never gone there, I guess. So that's where you stayed, and there was just that one mandir. There's no other buildings. Did he live in that mandir?
Yes.
And
There
were you staying in that mandir?
Yes, all of us staying in that small mandir.
A mandir big enough to hold 30 people, you said.
Only in the festivals.
Did it have electric fans?
No lights.
No lights.
No lights.
No
current,
electricity.
no lights. So we used to give in the small lamps. We used to keep
Kerosene
yeah, kerosene lamps.
And what about Swami's mother and father? Did they live close by?
As long as Swami was in old mandir, then none of them used to come. None of them used to visit them.
Why
Swami.
not? Why not?
Nobody used to come to mandir.
Really?
What Swami himself used to go to the village once in 2 days or 3 days, visit them, talk to them and come back. Nobody used to come.
So here's the old mandir, And when you said they used to go to the village was like maybe a kilometer away, or just a short distance. Just a short, you could walk there in a couple of minutes. And the village, I want to make sure I've got this right, maybe 8 or 10 or 12 little huts and little houses, correct? And was one of those houses Sai Baba's house?
Yes.
His mother and father lived there.
Yeah.
So they were real close, but the village people didn't come.
No.
So you were from outside and you came.
Yes.
Did you see other visitors come while you were there?
Some people came from Bangalore and Madras.
Really?
Yeah.
How did they know about Sai
Yeah.
Baba?
No. And in his family, his sister called Venkama, she only used to come and sing with Swami for bhajans. And she used to prepare food sometimes and bring it for him also.
Vijayama, I'm so grateful you're telling us all these details. Everybody in India knows your story because they love you and they love your recollections of the story.
Thank you
and
so
everywhere in
much.
this part of the world knows your story. But in America, I feel, and in Europe and in South America and other places, in Russia, your story is still new to people. So I'm
Okay.
so grateful that you're sharing so many wonderful details with us.
Yes.
And I'm powerfully interested in those early days. So tell me something about the Sai Baba of 1945. Did he ever get angry?
So many times.
Oh, he did. I was expecting you to say not at all.
Because he loves discipline.
He loves
Yeah,
discipline.
discipline.
Boy, I'm glad I wasn't around in 1945.
He was very strict. He doesn't want men and ladies together. And he's always very strict with the boys and girls separately. And he's very about our behavior.
And what did he want you to do? He wanted you to be very pure and lead a good life.
We are already pure. There's nothing like that. There is no such a thought at all at that age.
So did you ever see him get angry?
Yeah, so many times. So many times.
Well, what would he get angry about?
Because he can't do mistakes. He's always perfect. He wants everything to be perfect.
Ah.
So one day అమ్మ భోజనం ఉప్పు మర్చిపోయింది
నీళ్ళు తాగిపోతే కదా.
So when we are all talking, I just went inside for a minute and came back. And Swami asked me, where have you gone? Swami, I was feeling very thirsty, so I just went inside to have a cup of water. Can't you control that much? Can't you control that much? Why do you want to go and have a cup of
So
water?
he wanted you to fast.
Not fast. You want to control the senses.
I see. So
Yeah.
if you were to become non-attached, to become spiritual, to go inside, you had to give up your attachment to the outside world, including food and water
Yes,
sometimes.
yes.
That would be very, very
Yeah.
difficult.
That's how he made them sing for 4 hours in a stretch.
Oh,
Nobody
I
would
see.
get up.
Yeah.
So your son is
That
telling me
was awesome.
that he made you sing for several hours at a stretch
Sure.
to overcome your
Yes.
thirst.
Yeah.
Well, were you able to do that? Did it make you angry at all?
I don't take that.
We got used to it. Sitting for hours together, we got used to it.
So did you start to think of him no longer as a young man at 19, a young boy, but somebody who was God, as you said before? When did you start to think that he was much more than just a 19-year-old boy? After a couple of days?
మొదటి చూస్తేనే అయిపోయాను.
I have told you, as soon as we saw him,
Immediately. I thought this might have taken a little while.
Immediately, we fell for him.
Now, I read in your book, and I want you to talk about some of the pranks that Sai Baba would do. He
Yeah.
would be a jokester. He would do things sometimes that would surprise people.
Yeah.
Can you remember any of those episodes?
Yeah. He was very, very naughty. Yeah. And only after
He didn't want you to be naughty, but he could be naughty. Right?
Yeah, very true, very true. And in the afternoons, and all the elderly people used to have little rest in the mandir. Then Swami used to go to his room and maybe writing letters or reading letters. And we children don't know what to do. So we'll be sitting in a corner. After 5 minutes, Swami will come out of his room and look at us. Don't make noise, come out, come out. So we all used to go out with Swami. And as soon as we went outside, Swami saw a big black ant crawling on the floor.
Uh-huh.
So he told one of the boys, hey, go ahead, bring that ant. He said, Swami, it may bite me. No, no, it won't bite you. Then we are wondering why he wants an ant. So anyhow, that boy brought the ant, gave it to Swami. Swami took it and went into the mandir, and we were all anxiously waiting, what is he going to do? And he took it and put it in a lady's hair who is sleeping.
Oh my goodness.
And she got up with a shock and started screaming and used to laugh like anything.
So he
that's
played
looking-
practical jokes on people. Sai Baba.
Yeah. That's a Leela. That's a
The
game.
Leela?
It's a given game.
రెండు జడలు కట్టేది.
Yeah. And sometimes he used to go there, and when the ladies are sleeping, he used to tie their hair. When they get up, so they used to struggle to get up. And after some time,
You mean that you tie their hair to a post or to something else?
Two plates.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, together. Oh, one person to another person. So when they would awaken, they couldn't get up.
so they were struggling and thinking, oh, who did all these things? But we know that he is the master who can do all such things.
Together like this.
అది ఇక్కడ
This is a part of Sai Baba
చీరలు కట్టేది.
many people never heard about.
Dhan
First
chapter.
person from a source like that. Go ahead.
And then after some time again he went out and called one boy and he said, bring a thread, a small
Okay,
thread. So
yeah.
he gave it to Swami. Swami was sharpening like this, and we are wondering again, what is he going to do? He went to the men's side and put that thread into their noses when they are sleeping and putting in their ears also. Oh, everybody got up with a shock and used to laugh like anything. And at that time, sometimes we used to think, is he God?
Yeah,
Can
sure.
God play such games? And immediately he will look at us in such a way, and we know he is God.
So you had no doubts whatsoever. You know, he called me Doubting Thomas. But nobody in your family had any doubts.
None of us.
And during that first 3 months that you were there, do you remember if many people came to visit him or just a couple of people? How many people would come?
Only in the festivals, only to 20 to 30 people. Only.
Okay, so you were pretty much alone with him except
Yeah.
for another 20 or 30
Yes.
people. And did he ever do back in those days, you know, I don't know when he started his materializations, I guess as a small boy among his classmates in school. Did he do materializations in your presence?
Every day.
Every day?
చెప్పు చిత్రావతి పోయేటప్పుడు.
In the evenings, exactly at 4 o'clock, Swami used to shout at the top of his voice, I am going to Chitravati, is everybody ready? Oh, then we all follow him. We will be walking. On the way, and he used to tell somebody to bring a small pebble, and he used to bring it and give it to Swami. Swami will throw it to somebody and becomes a candy.
It becomes a candy.
Again, after some time,
So he'd pick up a pebble, and while it was being tossed to somebody else, it would turn into candy.
candy.
Many things.
That must have really surprised the young boys and kids who got those candies. Yes,
Then
and
again we'll be going, Swami will disappear sometimes.
he would disappear.
Then we used to, Swami, where are you? Where are you? We'll be searching for him. Then after a little time, then we all sit in one corner waiting for him to come. So he came out of a bush, big bush was there. He came out of the bush. Then, and we said, Swami, we were sitting here and looking in the bush. You are not there. How is it that you are coming out of the bush? He said, oh, is it so? He will run. Again he disappeared, and he's sitting on the top of a huge tree, and from there he's clapping his hands. Where are you looking for me?
So
I'm
he would
sitting-
get your attention by clapping his hands, and you wouldn't see him climb the tree.
No.
He would just appear at the
Just
top of the
disappear,
tree.
that's all.
So tell me about once you got down to the banks of the Chitravatri, and he wanted to have you there, and the river back then wasn't a dirt bed; it had water in it. What did he do down there?
We used to sit in the banks on the Chitravati, and as usual we'll be singing bhajans, singing songs. We say, not this type of bhajans. We used to sing songs at that
Songs.
time.
If they weren't bhajans, what kind of songs were they? Devotional songs, or
All
just?
devotional songs only.
And can you sing one for us?
Swami's composition.
Yeah, what a joy this would be if you could sing one for us right now. We would love it. and we'll resume with our story, okay?
In that period of 45 to 50, Swami might have composed somewhere about 400 to 500 songs for them.
From
Swamis composed.
so these were all Baba's songs. You said
And they
400.
also used to compose.
We also
Whenever they
composed.
went back to Puttaparthi, they had their own
Did
songs.
he want you
It
to
was sort of a
compose songs?
competition.
He didn't say anything. We composed out of joy.
Out of joy.
Joy.
And you have a favorite here that your son's holding for you now. Would
It's
you
the
be
first song Swami taught them.
the
which is
first
his
song
composition.
Baba taught
And
you?
he's playing the role of a devotee.
Yeah.
How a
Okay.
devotee should pray to God.
What's the name
God
of
is
the
teaching
song?
them.
It's Karma Data Vashama.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Kapadu Sai.
Let's hear this song.
Oh, very sorry. Kapadu Sai Devuda.
You're forgiven. Okay. Okay. Let's hear it. Oh, you need your glasses? I understood that sign language there. So this is the first song
Yeah.
that Baba taught you to sing.
Yes, he composed and taught
He
us.
composed
also.
it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
కాపాడు సాయి దేవుడా నా ఎల్లివాడ నీ సాటి దేవుడేడిరా కాపాడు సాయి దేవుడా నా ఎల్లివాడ నీ సాటి దేవుడేడిరా పాపకూపమందు మునిగి తిన్ ఏదాపు లేక నీ పాద ఆశ్రయించి తిన్ పాల ముంచినాను నీవే నీట ముంచినాను నీవే పాల ముంచినాను నీవే నీట ముంచినాను నీవే కాపాడు సాయి దేవుడా నా ఎల్లివాడ నీ సాటి దేవుడేడిరా కర్మబద్ధులైన జీవులన్ కావనీవు కలియుగంబునందు బుట్టితి కానలేరు నీదు మహిమ నరులు మందబుద్ధులౌట కానలేరు నీదు మహిమ నరులు మందబుద్ధులౌట చూడపిచ్చి వాడవగుదువు నీ జాడలెరుగా మూఢమతులు కాననందురు కీడు మూడు నప్పుడెల్ల వేడుకొందురయ్య నిన్ను కాపాడు సాయి దేవుడా నా ఎల్లివాడ నీ సాటి దేవుడేడిరా.
Wonderful. Thank you. Can you give me just a couple of words in English what that song was about? What was the song about? Was that in Telugu?
Just word to word meaning.
Translation is
Okay. Oh, you have the translation of it too. Okay. Yes.
And we are saying, oh Swami, you are God. There is no match for you at all. You have come into this Kali Yuga. You are born as in this Kali Yuga as God. Why can't you take care of us? You have to take care of us. And we say, you are the whether we are in milk, whether we are in water, whatever may be the situation, you have to take care of us. You have to show your love, shower your love on us. And it is very difficult to understand you. It is very difficult to recognize or realize you. But even then, Swami, we are all ordinary human beings. But please see that we protect us all the time.
So this was among his first lessons of Advaita, of oneness, that everything is God, that everyone is God, even milk is God, even water is God. He wanted you to know that?
No.
With this first.
He was preparing us. We don't know anything.
Okay.
And
You were willing students. You were his chela.
Without the classroom.
Without the classroom. On the banks of the Chitravatri.
Anywhere we used to come and we used to sit in whatever place and whatever situation. There is no need that we have to under the Kalparucha,
on the way,
on the side,
singing.
singing all the time.
That's wonderful.
How we used to
And so many
select the
songs. Would he just make up songs on the spot just like
How
that?
he made you sing the song? What is the signal?
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll be sitting in the bhajan and Swami will be sitting in the, as usual, and he looks at me immediately I know what song I have to sing.
Really?
He has given that.
He would plant the idea in your head.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And this would be a song that he wrote or a song that
So
you wrote?
anything we can, at that time, whatever I
Songs
sung.
Just one look like this, they know what to
But
say.
autos.
See, in Europe and in America, we don't have this tradition of devotional singing the way you do. So it's very popular here, and Sai Baba really wanted people to sing around him as a young boy. And he would sing a lot too, correct?
No?
Tyagaraja Ki.
He used to
Meera
do
bhajan.
classical bhajans, Tyagaraja Kirtans we call, and Meera bhajans, and he used to sing about Rama Sita Kalyanam, so many divines, full of songs with all divinity and spiritual meaning.
While you were at the banks of the Chitravatri, that we're still there, and I still want to ask some more. There were famous stories of his pulling objects out of the sand along the banks. Did you ever see any materializations like that?
Hundreds.
Hundreds and hundreds.
And what would he pull out? Candy? What would he pull out?
No, we'll be sitting in the banks of Chitravati, and when we are singing, and it's full of sand.
Yes.
Swami used to make it just like a pyramid
I
out
see.
of the sand. He will put his hand inside the sand. Before it takes out, we can say what is coming out.
How-
Because beautiful smell.
Oh, I see.
By the smell we
You could
go,
smell food below the sand.
aroma. And so today Swami is taking Mysore Pak. Its smell is coming so nicely.
It would be hot food
Yeah.
below the sand.
Burning hot.
And you could smell
Burning hot.
the burning hot.
Right.
And you could smell its fragrance and know
Yeah.
what it was
Yeah.
before he would pull it out.
Yes.
Well, you must have just thought you were imagining things. That would be so hard to
As soon as
believe.
he takes out from the sand, it is so hot, ghee will be dripping from that sand, and he used to keep it on the plate, not a single grain of sand on that sweet.
So even though he pulled it out of the sand and it was hot with burning butter, burning ghee, no grains of sand were on the food.
Then I saw, look at the piece, it was only small, and we were nearly 20 people sitting there. I thought in myself, Swami, how can you take such a small piece? This is not enough for everyone. Immediately he looked at me, I got a little scared. How can I, like an idiot, how can I think of such a thing?
You were getting greedy. You wanted more, didn't you?
Then he started giving a small piece to everyone, and that piece was full.
Intact.
Intact.
So it never got smaller.
More. And after eating, then Swami looked at me and said, "You do like to have one more piece?" I said, "No, Swami, I am full."
This reminds me of the Jesus story of the fish and the loaves,
Yes, very true.
where no matter how many people were fed, there's still enough fish in the loaves of bread for everybody. Well, that must have just amazed you.
Full with the small piece.
Say that again. Oh, you got full with the small piece. In other
Small
words,
piece.
you didn't eat a whole lot, but what you ate filled you up.
I couldn't have. Impossible. How can I? Impossible.
Did he ever give you a private interview? Did he ever talk to you privately about your life?
And whenever we leave Parthi, after staying for 3 months, sometimes 6 months, sometimes 9 months also.
Sometimes 9 months you would
9
stay
months
there.
also. Whenever we leave Parthi and go to our native place, Swami used to give us interviews, private interviews. Then, and we don't like to go at all after enjoying so much, after having so much bliss and ecstasy.
Of
And
course.
we don't. And Swami used to tell us, go and come back soon because I have got so much work to do this. Though we are not going for 9 months to our native place, we used to pass our exams every year. We used to pass. We attend the school only for 3 months and we pass every year.
So he saw to it that your devotion to him was so great and the time you spent was so great, even though you spent most of the time away from school,
Yes.
he helped you to pass with
Yeah.
flying colors.
So in those days, Swami used to come with us up to Chitravati river. So he arranges the bullock cart. He will see that all the luggage is kept in the bullock
Sure.
cart, and he will be walking with us And after going to Chitravati, and again we start crying so much, saying, Swami, how can we go? We can't leave you. Then we composed a song, and we were
You
saying,
make them sing that song and make them cry more.
cry more.
Make you cry more. Did you ever have any doubts about Sai Baba?
No.
Did you ever have any thinking that maybe you were mentally ill or crazy and that you were making this up?
No, others thought.
Others thought.
Relations thought they were mentally sick.
But you never thought you were crazy.
Not,
Yeah.
No, not
And
a-
did you ever think that maybe this was a joke, that somebody was pulling the wool over your eyes to fool you about something? Did you ever think this was a joke?
No, not at
And
all.
what about your brothers and sisters? Did they all believe?
Nothing. Everybody.
And when you would come home for 3 months or 4 months, and you told your neighbors and your friends and your classmates, what would they say to you?
They say, oh, the Puttaparthi heroes have come
What would
to
they
attend
say?
a school.
I see.
And the teachers and everybody used to tease us. How are you going to
Pass the exam.
write the exam? And I said, every year we are passing the exam.
What did they say when you were able to pass the exams and you were only there for a short period of time?
He made us read, and he helped us in while
But
reading.
what did your
Teachers
teachers say? How did your
Teachers helped.
how did your teachers know that you could pass the exams?
The teachers used to say, how are you going to write the exam? How are you going to pass? I said, you wait and see. So after the exam, we passed.
Oh.
They were all so amazed to see that we every year we are passing.
Now you talked. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But one thing, our SSLC exams,
Shortage.
that-
Shortage.
exams are going to come, and we are in Parthi only. Swami told me and my brother to go and write the exam. That year it so happened was in the English medium. Till then we have got only Telugu medium. And every book was so big. I told Swami, I can't do it. I can't go there because I can't read such big book. Anyhow, he said, you have to go. Both of my
So the
brothers-
school became English
Yeah,
taught,
English
not Telugu
medium.
taught,
First time.
and
First
you didn't have real good English
No,
awareness.
no.
So what did he say? Go ahead and do it anyway.
He said, go. And then he said, I will be with you. I will help you. I will see that you go through all the books and you start. And immediately he created a small picture. And he said, you put this picture on your exam pad and you go to the exam.
Hold this up very, very steady. This is the picture that Sai Baba created and he gave to you. And if you take, he said, if you take that, I'll tell you what, this is going out of focus. So just give it to me once, and I'm going to bring it in closer. That way, it'll be in focus a little bit more. So this picture, very tiny picture, he gave this to you, and he said that if you keep this with you when you take the examination, that you will pass the examination. Does that mean he made you cheat?
No, never. There
I'm
is
just
no
kidding
such
you.
word in the dictionary at all.
Not when God takes the test for you. That's so you got through in English.
Yeah.
All the subjects, district first.
There's just one story
And,
after
no,
another.
I'll tell you how I passed the exam. That is very important.
Okay.
Anyhow, both of us, my brother and myself, and Swami asked my mother not to go. And I said, Swami, how am I going to read? I don't know any cooking. How am I going to cook? He said, I am always 24 hours in a day with you only. So I will see that everything is perfectly done. Anyhow, we found faith in Bhagwan. And we all went back. And when I saw the books, it was very difficult. And then I told my brother, if you read one paper by paper, it is impossible. Page by page, it is very difficult. So every chapter will have 10 questions. And then I felt that third question is important. As soon as I said, we believe in the lizards on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
When the lizard make tick, tick, tick noise, we say, oh, this is very important. This is going to happen.
So you were guided by the lizard making a noise on the wall as to which question you should pay most attention to. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Like that, we prepared all the questions in all the subjects, and we read only those questions. And I went into the examination.
And those are the questions that were asked.
Examination hall, that all the questions, what we read was there.
Maybe the lizard was Sai Baba.
And afterwards, when the results came, I was first in the district.
Well, afterwards, when the lizards
No, when the results came.
Oh, when the results came,
She
you were
came out
first
first.
in
I
the
was the
district.
first.
Did you credit the lizard for helping you? Did you? This is 10,000 times more interesting than I ever thought it was going to be, and I knew you had good stories to share, but I didn't know they were going to be this good. Yeah. Did you ever see Baba interact with a person who was sick at all and make them feel better or cure them of their sickness?
So many,
Baba.
so many we have seen. My own brother-in-law.
Okay,
He was
tell me
suffering.
about that.
Was stomach pain, and Swami took him upstairs and put him on his bed.
In Swami's bed.
In Swami's bed, okay.
And we were all in the bhajan hall singing bhajans. Swami was there with my brother and my Krishna Kumar, my
Okay,
brother.
mhm.
And Swami immediately created a knife and he operated my brother-in-law.
He did.
Yeah.
He cut open your brother-in-law's stomach.
Appendicitis, he opened.
It was appendicitis?
Yeah. So he operated immediately.
It wasn't just a tummy ache, it was appendicitis.
Yeah, yeah. Swami operated and immediately he stitched everything and within no time and he came down for bhajan. Swami came down with my brother, and then as soon as the bhajan is over, he called my brother-in-law's wife. See, I have operated your husband. He's perfectly all right. Nothing to worry at all.
That's an amazing story of
Amazing,
healing.
yes. Yeah.
He was, yesterday I interviewed Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty, and in his office at the big Narayana Hospital is the picture, a very beautiful picture of Baba with the stethoscope,
Yeah.
and underneath it says the doctor's doctor. So back, even when he was a young man, he actually performed surgery. He didn't just materialize babooty or spiritually make your brother-in-law healed. He took the appendix out himself. These are unbelievable stories.
The very next day I asked him to go. Well, come on, you go. Move
The next
about,
day
eat
he was
everything.
up and going.
Nothing to worry.
Oh,
he had his ordinary meals. Nothing to...
Well, when you would come home and tell that story to people, what would they think of you?
They were amazed. They say, oh, he is God. He can do anything.
Did you start taking people back with you to Puttaparthi when you would go back?
No. We always will go, our family only. We never used to take anybody with us. But they used to come. Many
They used to
people
come. They used to come on their own. I'm going to fast forward to 2010 when Sai Baba left his physical form. You knew him so well, so intimately, so many hundreds and hundreds of stories, thousands of stories. How badly did you react? How badly did you miss him when he left his form? How sad were you?
Very difficult
She does
question.
not remember. She does not remember when she was watching that main.
You were
thing,
watching on television, maybe?
She collapsed for more than 1 hour. As far as our dictionary is concerned, she was gone.
Okay, so
After
you were
1 hour, she.
your son's telling me, as far as our dictionary is concerned, you were gone.
Gone.
Would you tell me in your own words what his leaving his
What
physical
you felt
form?
in that period,
Yeah.
that 1 hour period.
What did this mean to you?
She felt something.
That 1 hour, I felt as if I am somewhere very, very nice, very calm and quiet. And it was so blissful and it was so joyful. I was enjoying only that much.
You weren't sad?
I don't know anything else.
Collapsed.
I
1 hour.
collapsed. They say I collapsed.
You
I was
collapsed.
no more. They say I am dead.
You thought, they thought you were dead.
Yeah. Because I don't know anything. I just, as soon as I screamed, Amma, I shouted like anything, and I fell down. That much I know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he said, for more than 1 hour, you were completely dead. We never thought that you will come alive. After 1 hour, then I slowly opened my eyes. And then they said, how are you? I'm perfectly all right.
She couldn't recognize for more than 10 minutes anybody.
So after that, I was in a very bad shape. I miss him so much. I am very frank
Who
in
brought
saying
you
that.
back? What? Who brought you back?
He only brought me back. He only
Baba brought you back.
Yeah.
Even though he had left his
Yeah.
physical form, he brought you back.
Yeah.
Oh, this is. Go
Now you
ahead.
remember the 1 hour what happened there, right?
That's all I remember. It was very nice, very happy.
Very joyful.
Very joyful, calm and quiet. That's all.
Did you have any visions? Did you see anything?
No, nothing.
You were aware that
Yeah.
you were alive.
Yeah,
You were aware that it was all peace and love and joy.
yeah.
And there was nothing to be sad about when you were out.
When they came back, when I regained my consciousness and came back alive, then I felt I was very sad and I broke down actually.
Oh,
And then because our attachment with Bhagavan
Sure.
for more than 70 years, it was so precious, so valuable, that closeness, that nearness, naturally, it is very difficult to digest.
Vijaya, Vijaya Kumari, you could not throw me out of your house at this time. We are going to end this segment and do another segment, part 2, immediately. I just want to tell you how captivated all of us are. We're familiar with your stories, but to hear them from your own lips and to see the light in your own eyes is just one
I
of
don't
Baba's.
think so. There is nothing
No,
like that.
just it's one of Baba's greatest blessings ever for us, and I am not exaggerating. Thank you so much. We'll resume with part 2. We love you, Sai Ram.
Yeah, I am also equally so happy to meet you all and share experiences with you all. I'm really so grateful to Bhagavan for giving this golden opportunity.
God bless you, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.